Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes from the April 15th meeting, any additions, corrections?
Move to approve is printed. Second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Business from the audience. Dewey, how you doing, buddy?
Good, good. How you guys?
I'm good. Nice to see you. Got any good news for us?
Oh, no news first.
Okay. Sometimes that's good news.
Yes. Appreciate you being here.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, let's dive right into reports. Doug, election distribution. Excuse me.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I do have a couple action items for you today. The first being replace truck 302. This is a budget item. You have a memo there in front of you. We did open bids April 23rd. We had 3 bids for the truck. It's a cabin chassis, a 4-wheel drive to replace a current truck that we have that's used daily by the crews to pull and haul equipment to job sites. We'd like to purchase a new truck and move the extra truck to electric production. So with that, my recommendation would be a motion to accept the low bid from Elmer Ford Sales for a 2022 Ford F-450 in the amount of $45,383.
Ken, does this meet the criteria for best bid?
Yep.
And make a motion to accept the low bid from Elmer Hare Ford Sales for a 2022 Ford F-450 in the amount of $45,383.
Second.
A motion is second to accept the low bid from Elmer Hare Ford Sales for a 2022 F-450 in the amount of $45,383. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, gentlemen. I do have one additional action item. It's to replace our cable locator. This locator is used daily to respond to Missouri 1 call locates to mark our underground primary, secondary lines. It also has a cable fault finder to locate direct buried secondary lines such as streetlight wire or other buried secondary, direct buried secondary. It works very well in doing that. This cable locator was purchased in 2005. It's had many trips to the factory for recalibration and just service work and stuff. So I'd like to, and it is also a budget item, but we'd like to go ahead and get that replaced. So my recommendation is a motion to purchase a new cable locator using quotes.
My move, we purchase a new cable locator using quotes.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to purchase a new cable locator using quotes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Is that a 3M?
The current one's a 3M. The one we're kind of looking at is a Raycom. The fire department just purchased one. It's going to be kind of identical to theirs.
A little bit better than the 3Ms? Or?
They like it a little better, yeah.
Really?
We demoed all of them, and it performed a little better, in our opinion, than 3M.
You got some paperwork on
Oh, yeah,
it? You maybe print me a copy of that someday?
Yeah. we'll get that for you.
I'm in the market. I'm in the
Are you?
same market, yeah.
You can look at ours.
I need-
We got the same model, you can look at ours.
Okay. Got the A-frame with it?
We're going to get the A-frame. Jim didn't have a need for it, but we
Okay.
will, so yeah.
All right.
But yeah, you can look at that.
Perfect, man. Thank you.
Not much else to add, just a few updates on some projects. The Southeast Sub updates. Bids for the new 15 kV switchgear lineup were open Friday the 23rd. I did get those sent off to the engineer. We are reviewing those currently. Hope to make a recommendation soon. Our tree trimming brush spraying's been pushed back a little longer. I guess the contractor's having trouble with hiring employees. They did have a job fair over the weekend, and they said nobody showed up. So they're having a little trouble with that. But they're expected to start Monday the 3rd. And project over here at the viaduct with the underground replacement there, it's we're working on that as we can. The rain kind of runs us out since that's off the beaten path a little bit. So, but we are moving forward on that. Got the pole changed out, the old wire's out, and anticipate being done with that in a week or so. Other than that, I don't have any questions unless you have any questions for me on anything else.
Get your chairs ordered.
They're ordered.
keep this one.
Any other questions for Doug? Thank you, Doug. Carl, Electric Production, Mark.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I do have 3 action items. All of them have been discussed somewhat before. The first one, Unit 6, Maintenance and Inspections, is a budgeted item. This kind of explains there, the last major overhaul we had on the gas turbine was in 2004. We didn't have a lot of hours on it. That thing was kind of treated like the steam units. They did it on a yearly basis, and SPP, when we submitted the maintenance items to get reimbursed for, I wanted it on the hourly. And working with Ethos, which is the OEM for the Westinghouse 191s now, their suggestion was to start with a minor combustion and bore scope inspection. And that work would be performed. They would send in a representative to do that, and we would use our labor to help there. So my recommendation would be for a motion to perform a minor combustion bore scope inspection on the Unit 6 by requesting proposals.
I think we proved we need those units running, available at any time, February.
We've done a real good job with upkeep of all of our units, and I mean, we're just gonna continue to keep doing it. So, I'd say, absolutely, I'd make a motion to perform minor combustion and bore scope inspection on Unit 6 by requesting proposals.
Second.
It's been a motion second to perform a minor combustion and bore scope inspection on Unit 6 by requesting proposals. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen. The second one, we've kind of talked about at length a little bit. I did finally get a second proposal in for that. I was waiting to get that in to do the work at units 10 and 11, calibrations and adjustments there. That would consist of a representative coming in and again using our labor. Just have them supply the field representative to oversee the work. I did receive 2 proposals, one from UPS Midstream, now it used to be NRG, which is Universal Plant Services, in the amount of $16,795, and they were estimating a week's work. The other was from Cooper Machinery Services, which is the OEM. It used to be Cooper Bessemer. They changed hands a lot of times. Cameron bought them out, then GE bought them out, and then they merged with someone else, and so now they were bought out again, and they separated back out as Cooper Machinery Services. So they are the OEM people. They submitted a quote for $9,782, thinking they can do it in 2 days. It would be an additional $2,149.85 per day for additional days. So they seem to think that that is sufficient time, what they quoted. Both proposals there included 10-hour work days and their travel and housing. So my recommendation for that would be a motion to accept the proposal from Cooper Machinery Services in the amount of $9,782 with an additional cost of $2,149.85 per day for additional days if necessary.
I make a motion to accept the proposal from Cooper Machinery Services in the amount of $9,782 with an additional cost of $2,149.85 per day for additional days if necessary.
Second?
Been a motion second to accept proposal from Cooper Machinery Services in the amount of $9,782 with an additional cost of $2,149.85 per day for additional days if necessary. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Good, thank you, gentlemen. I guess for the recording people that didn't, I don't think I mentioned that is a budget item also. The third action item and we discussed this a meeting or two back, was an alternate to remove the slabs and foundations to 2 foot below the grade and backfill with clean dirt. That alternate was submitted by Aaron's for $280,000. The way we accepted bids, we ran off one that was started before where they weren't going to remove all the units, and we added on to that. So after it became apparent it was a better thing just to take the building down, more economical. We just kind of laid a base of just take it down to ground level. Aaron's did offer this as an alternate, and after assessing the best route to remove that stuff, and I know some of the things they've already got, like out of the old warehouse basement, some of that concrete there was 8 foot thick. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's enormous. We don't have anything to handle that kind of stuff. And I'm sure some of the foundations and piers in the other buildings are probably equal to somewhat to that, maybe not quite as heavy. But while they have their equipment on site, that proposal was good while they have the equipment on site. So Jeff wanted me to go ahead and add this in here for this meeting. And so after reviewing that with Aaron's, we could get a savings of $39,390 if we did the dirt backfill work. I spoke with Grant Underground Services. He indicated that would be a good option for him to take dirt to during his projects. Doing it that way may take a few years. He said during that time they could contour the dirt. It's not like we'd have a big hole there, a swimming pool or something, mud hole, that they could contour that to where they could fill it over time and have it sloped off to where the water would just run off. So that seems to be a good fit for us. And there will also be a fence put up around that area after the construction demolition work is done. And so after reviewing all the stuff, talking with Jeff about it, we think that's probably the best option. So I'd make a recommendation for a motion to accept Aaron's alternate to remove the slabs and foundation 2 foot below grade with a $39,390 deduction for MMU doing backfill for a total of $240,610.
Kind of a fence are you looking at to put around there?
Basically the same fence that's around the rest of it. It's a 6 foot cyclone type fence with 3 strands of barbed wire.
Okay,
We'll probably just.
so it's a substantial fence, not just a
Yes, sir.
small fence.
It's not an orange fence, right?
Yeah.
What's?
Not an orange fence.
No. It would be a substantial fence that would keep people out.
Okay.
That was my concern, the liability,
Yeah.
and then having a big, I was worried about it being overgrown and having a big mud pit and,
Yeah, what do you,
looking like hell.
how do you feel about it?
I mean, it really works well for me, be essentially located. We can dump our spoils there and we run out of room. For years we brought them out here. Well, now we're shut off out here. The railroad's pretty much said,
That's enough.
don't dump any closer. And we got the bowl a little bit, but it's always nice to have a place to go with spoils.
We got a way to run that off to where it's,
Yeah,
we're not gonna make a mosquito habitat, are we?
we'll take the track, leave the track loader over there and we'll keep it contoured, probably once a week. We'll go over there and level it out and
Okay.
keep it from holding water. And
No, I like it, and it makes sense to have them do it now while they're on site, otherwise you're just gonna spend, another $100,000 for mobilization later, so. I'd be in favor of it. So I'll make a motion to accept Aaron's alternate to remove slab and foundations 2 inches or 2 feet below grade with a $39,390 deduct for MMU doing backfill for a total of $240,610.
Second.
Been a motion and a second to accept Aaron's alternate to remove slabs and foundations 2 feet below grade with a $39,390 deduction for MMU doing backfill for a total of $240,610. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen. Not a lot else to add. The work up the filter basins at the water plant seems to be going well, moving along with that. And we did hire one of our retirees to fill in part-time there as a dispatch operator. While we're shorthanded, that seems to be giving us a little more breathing room there. Other than that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that you might have.
How's the oil cleanup going?
That's all done.
It's all
It is-
done now.
It is complete. We did have them come in and clean it up. Then we had another issue of a pipe that had oil in it that got ruptured and that didn't get cleaned up the first time. So that's why we had to have them back. But
I
that
think
area is covered,
they're
cleaned
just
up, covered.
back, yeah.
Yeah, so we are good there.
I was wondering how you got broke into, so they just busted the window out and crawled in, or did they?
The shop door window was broken. It was like the safety fire glass. I don't know if you used a brick or what. You can't see it on the video, but they broke in through that window, reached in, opened the door, and then they went into the shop area and kicked in the door to the tool room, which looking at the videos, the guy's hobbling after he comes out of there. So I think he hurt himself doing that. It's just a bizarre thing. One of his flip flops was in the tool room. The other was in Aaron's trailer.
Huh.
And you can see he's barefooted. It's just bizarre. Didn't really see anything significant missing as far as tools. Video did show him dropping some items over a fence, but there's nothing major missing, and it's going to cost us more to run everything down and inventory it than it's worth, I think. So very little stuff that he got away with. Some food out of the recycle building, he was in there too.
Anything been identified yet, or?
The video wasn't clear enough to really see who it was. I don't think the police haven't contacted us that they've had any other things in finding him. So I did fill out a report with the police station, and they asked if I was willing to press charges if they caught him, and I said certainly. But I haven't heard anything.
I'll make a motion to upgrade our cameras.
You tell Chris specifically, we said thanks for coming and helping us out in the void.
I will
So
do
know
that.
that's taking some heat off you guys. That's great. Any other questions for Carl?
Yeah, the pictures, the video that you got, was it inexpensive cameras, or what was the problem that the video was not clear? Time of night, lighting,
Most of the
Distance, isn't
time
it?
he spent there, he was kind of in the shadows, in the dark. There was a few times he was in the light, but I don't know just if it's the pixels or the nighttime or what, but it just wasn't real.
Steve had a point, I didn't know if we need to upgrade our cameras, or if they're sufficient for what we want to do or have.
Okay, I will certainly discuss that with our IT people.
That's what you,
If you all would like to, I'll definitely follow up on that.
I think we're gonna have them, we might as well be able to.
Those are fairly good quality cameras.
Are they?
Yeah, it's just a matter of time of day and just distance and various other things. With digital cameras, you lose resolution, whatever else. Part of the problem is the power plant coming down. We've got dead spots that we don't have cameras pointing to certain areas right now that will probably relocate some cameras once the stuff's out of the way.
Good. Carl, thank you.
Thank you all.
Underground facilities, Grant.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I do have one action item. It's a maintenance issue. As you know, in February, the first mixer failed in Reservoir 3, and shortly after the second one did. After several phone tag attempts, I was able to get a hold of the manufacturer, and the mixers themselves were warranted. They have since been shipped, and we do have them on site. This will require divers to go in and get these mixers and then replace the new ones. And looking ahead in 2023, about a year and a half out, it's in the budget to have Reservoir 3 cleaned, inspected and cleaned if needed. That is a budgeted item. By moving that up to the current, we could possibly save a dive and save us some money there if we can bundle these together and kind of get a 2-for-1 here. So at this time, my motion is to request bids to install the mixers and inspect and clean Reservoir 3.
What was your budget amount in 2022?
60,000. And I'm unaware, I haven't been able to get a hold of anybody to what the installation will add to that. So I really don't know if that's close. I assume, with their on site, you'll save mobilization, things like that. I don't see it going up a bunch, but I do not have enough information at the time to tell you exactly what it's going to cost, adding the installation of these and removal of the old.
I kind of agree with you. I mean, if they're gonna go down anyway, we gotta do the mixer. Let's go ahead and, get it inspected and cleaned if needed. It'll probably shift your maintenance on that up in the future.
Yeah, it'll change the time frame. DNR wants that inspected every 5 years. It does change that time frame, but
It's gonna happen anyway, so.
I make a motion to request bids to inspect, clean, and install mixers in Reservoir 3.
Second?
Been a motion, second to request bids to inspect, clean, and install mixers in Reservoir 3. All in favor?
Aye.
You can dive down with them? Take a look
Uh,
at it?
I will not. But when they installed that, that guy was in there for 20 minutes, and I can't explain the color blue he was when he came out there. It's cold in there.
It's that cold. Yeah.
Other than that, both projects are going good across town, Tie and North English. I haven't really come in any issues. Everything's going good. We got all the pipe and materials, and we're moving right along. Other than that, I don't have anything to add unless the board has any questions.
Any questions for Grant? Thank you, Grant. Wastewater treatment, Nolan.
Morning, Nolan.
Morning.
I really don't, except we're through the first month of the UV run this season, and our average on that is less than 3. But our E. coli going out, so that's what we'll be reporting next month. But unless you guys have any questions, I really don't have anything.
All the bulbs on, working, and
We're still, we have a few extra bulbs running than what we need, and it's an automation thing that I still haven't quite got figured out. So,
Al on the call.
Yeah.
Let them go fix it for you.
And the mower problem went on that new unit that we bought, was it?
it was.
It was?
And yeah, it was whenever we were changing blades, getting ready to start growing, and realized that one of the right blade was bent, and it had actually messed up the spindle shaft. So not sure when that happened or who was operating it, but
Probably not covered under any warranty either, is it?
not on that, but it being,
Hell, when you hit something like that.
Great.
I think it ended up being around $150 for new blades and parts.
Any other questions for Nolan? Thank you, Nolan. IT and broadband, Jim, morning.
Morning, Jim.
Morning.
Morning.
Just a couple little updates. We did request highway permit, received that yesterday for crossing 65 at their water plant probably in, so pulling fiber across there hopefully next week sometime. Also, the plow demo, they did drop off the plow. It's sitting back there by the warehouse. If you want to look at one of the ones we're looking at, roughly that size probably, so. Probably tomorrow, I believe, we'll try to plow some stuff in using that plow to see how it works. Other than that, pretty much everything else in the packet. Got any questions?
Is there any questions for Jim?
No, looks like you guys are humping pretty good out there.
Yeah, we got lots of irons in the fire.
That's why I kind of felt bad about bringing up the cameras. I'm like, oh, that's on Jim. Maybe I'll just shut up.
It's, as much as it's been nice to have some other little odd jobs here and there. I think they're working at the airport this morning, they're working on their field pump to try and stay out of those fields, whatever. It's been soggy, but we're pretty much done with the field, so yeah, we're in pretty good shape for that.
Good deal. Appreciate you, what you guys are doing. Looks good.
Thanks, Jim. Moving on, water treatment with Travis.
Morning. A few updates. Contractor did come in and did get the water recovery pumps up and going. They're having no issues with those at all now. Surface wash line replacement project's progressing. They did get one of the filters completed, but come to find out, it had a couple different size spray nozzles on those, and I only ordered the one size. So they're not working the way they're supposed to. The other ones have been ordered, so they should be here soon. And that should take care of that issue. But other than that, have any questions?
How's the building been holding up with the rain, all the tuck pointing the roof, that kind of solve all the problems?
Yep, that solved the problem.
Nice.
Good.
Good deal.
Push that off for another 100 years now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Travis like, at least until I'm out of here.
Any more questions for Travis? Thanks, Travis. HR, Megan.
Morning, Madam.
I do want to mention and congratulate everybody in elected production on April 18th. They reached 2 years without any recordable injuries, so great job on their part. Appreciate everybody's efforts. Trying to get the wage and benefit review wrapped up, get that to the board in the near future. We did get 2 folks started in grass department Monday in the general maintenance meter reader position, Jason Harlan and Connor Jocko Townsend. So we got 1 more vacancy to fill there. And we're in the process of scheduling interviews for fiber tech for next week. Still not have much luck on summer hire applications. Continue to work on that. And that, I don't think I have anything to add. I'd be happy to answer questions.
Those 2 new hires, is that the new position that was kind of morphed a couple months ago?
One of, well, actually, that's technically would be one that's not filled yet.
Okay.
They were still playing catch up from some,
Just curious.
yeah.
On our summer help and our new hires, I was talking to Grant last night, and he was telling me he went through the safety protocol and everything with the new hires, and he kind of shared with me some of the things he said, and it really got me thinking last night is, you know, especially if we're hiring summer help or we're hiring an 18, 19-year-old kid, we'll make sure that the department heads pass on to their employees or their foremen how important it is to help that kid learn to be protected, you know, protect himself. Kind of, and I know a lot of times it hasn't been drilled into their heads as much as it has into our heads. So just be very mindful of the younger employees we have or we're hiring, and you know, try to keep them safe. And we've done a great job the last 2 or 3 years. And it's starting to show up now in our insurance and our premiums and stuff. So. Done a great job. I just want to be mindful of the younger generation that's going to start working. I'll get off my soapbox now. Thank you guys very much for all the safety stuff you've done. It's been a truly remarkable recovery and turnaround, and I just appreciate it.
We appreciate you saying that, Steve. Supporting that very much. Everybody does try to put a lot of emphasis on that, but still appreciate you saying it. And never talk about it too much.
COVID vaccinations.
You know, I don't really have a count. I could tell you, typically the numbers tell you how many people missed work because of a reaction or that kind of thing, but for folks who may have got it and they were at the doctor and we may never have known. So we don't have a good number as to how many people have gotten the vaccine.
Any more questions for Megan? Thank you, Megan. Tony? Good morning.
Morning.
Included in the packet is a 6-month cash investment summary that I sent them list over to the city. They use that for reporting purposes. So I just have a copy of that in there for you guys. Just kind of show you what I send her. Also have the March financial comparisons in there. We're halfway through the fiscal year. So you'll see on our budgeted side, we should be right around 50%. The reporting looks similar to last month, though the numbers had changed. I will add things as material things change month to month. I'll try to highlight some of the things in there. If you kind of look there at the revenue expense summary, revenues for March were 2.3 million and our expenses were 2.7, which brings our net income to a loss of 387,000. For the year, we're at a $2.5 million loss. Of that though, this fiscal year, we've spent 2.1 million with errands in the decommission, so that's a big chunk of it. Our revenue is down this year, 684,000, which I had in there, the same as last month. That big reason of that is due to the 7.5%. And I was looking yesterday, our actual usage is up 1 million kWh, but our revenues are down. So it kind of reinforces that's at discount. Natural gas still continues to be the same. On the cash side, our cash for the month of March went down 606,000. 538 of that was in the operating accounts. We went from 7.1 in February down to 6.5 in March. Our monthly disbursements this fiscal year, have been averaging around 2.8 million a month. In March, we were 3.1, so we were up. We had some bigger, obviously our purchase power was up. That would have been from February. But then our work comp, we paid in March. And this year I paid it all at once versus spreading it over 3 months. So that's kind of why it's up a little higher this month, or the month of March. And our reserve funds, they grew by 52,000. 39,000 went to the water department, and 13.2 went to the wastewater. And I had this in last month too. Electric, internet, and natural gas are currently not putting any money in reserve. So insurance funds still the same. Our I&I, you'll see down there that we did put 24,000 in, which is roughly 4,800 customers at $5 each. But we did pay SAC Construction for a 2020 CIPP 160,000. So that dropped that fund down 136,000 for the month of March. Sewer main, pretty consistent. We put in 12.4 to increase that slightly. And then customer deposits went up just slightly. So hopefully that information helps. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer those. You should look at that. Beginning of April, I applied the utility with SAFER. It's a program that was developed out of the COVID-19 economic relief bill that was signed back in December. The way that's going to work is they've set aside, not sure exactly, I think it's like $400 million to assist people with their rent and utilities. Obviously, with us, that would cover electric, water, wastewater, and trash. Internet doesn't get covered in that. And how that's going to work is we've got Myra around, she's contact. So when someone goes out and applies, if they qualify, then they'll reach out to us and request their bills, and then they'll pay us directly.
So I know we've had a couple people, she's already contacted my own couple of customers that have applied and have been accepted, so we're working on that. It's open until September of 2022, so, and they'll pay 12 consecutive months of rent and utilities. And the lady up there at MHDC said that they're trying to work with homeowners too, which could be coming down the pipeline here, with utilities. Right now, it's just for renters. But she's supposed to let us know when that does, so. I'll probably get with Megan and probably put something on our Facebook page to let people know that they go out and apply. So we can help customers with that. Other than that, just do miscellaneous things. Tyler, we've been meeting with Tyler, calls, they're doing an infrastructure audit, which is basically looking at our IT stuff. Hoping to have that done here in the next week or two. And then we'll start kind of getting into more of the implementation stuff. So it's going on pretty well. Other than that, more than happy to answer any questions.
You had mentioned at one point starting a new fund for maintenance.
Correct.
For electric production. What's your time frame on that?
I'm hoping, Jeff's been out this week, but try to have something in the next board packet to have, just kind of let you know.
You can do it like similar to sewer main, just kind of a set amount.
Yeah, and then so like with Carl's maintenance on unit 6 and 10, 11, we would have that money set aside to cover those costs. Because in the past, I think we just kind of budgeted and just used it, and obviously with the way the units performed last month in February. Makes sense to reserve some of that money for those units to maintenance them.
Absolutely.
So, and you'll see in the disbursements, I don't know if you have seen the constellation bill in there. I think unit 6, Carl, how long did it run in March?
23 days.
23 days straight. So we will get reimbursed for that fuel, but I think it makes sense to set some money aside to maintenance that unit.
On the time of use, when do you think that's gonna kick off?
I have a call with them tomorrow morning, just kind of trying to finish it up. The way, I had a call with MOPEP earlier in the week. They kind of went over how they're gonna do their time of use, or their rate will change in June. So then we'll start getting billed by the hour versus, and it'll have 6 peaks versus just having the 1 peak. So ideally with Toth, I think we should have the information by June, ready to kind of implement that. I'm not sure. Talking with Jeff when we're going to try to get that. It's going to be, I know we're going to have 2. We're going to have an on peak and an off peak. It's going to try to be very simple. And then we're looking at possibly just condensing to where you'll have a residential, commercial, and industrial. We won't have the small general, the large general, and all that. We'll just have the 3. I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. So we're going to try to, and we might just do, we've been brainstorming with Jeff, we might just kind of do an optional, give people the option to try it out and see. And we might even test it with our own utilities first to see how it works, but.
I wanna try.
I wouldn't mind trying either, yeah, so. But I think probably later part of the year, I think before we actually get anything implemented. Late summer, fall, so. Like Jeff said, I think the last meeting, we're kind of the first in the pool to probably start doing that, so. I think it's a good thing, though.
We were lucky enough to set ourselves up for it.
Right.
So,
Well, it's all that foresight.
I'll go with that.
Tony, not that you could do anything about it, I understood the problem with the microphone and all that wind when you try to communicate.
Yeah, we've adjusted the volume on it. It just seems like the way our drive-thru's set up, that wind cuts right, when the wind's coming right through there.
Right through there.
You can hear it rattling through the intercom. I don't know if things have that problem or not, but I think we're making it work. I don't know if there's something we can do.
I don't know what you can do about it.
Yeah, I think the ladies up front have done a good job of trying to play with it to get it to where it's doing better, but it was one of those things you weren't expecting to, still a lot better than the old.
Oh, yeah.
But it's,
Have any kind of like windshield around that thing or?
no, we thought about maybe trying to put something on the side. It just depends on which way the wind's blowing. Like
Yeah,
if
that
it's
could be
blowing on that one coming down, right down the drive-through, it's when it's the worst, it seems to be, but, with the volume, changing the volume on it, it's not too bad, so you can still keep hearing.
And you get, the wind's one of those things that really doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah,
Just gonna have to fight it.
especially as windy as it's been.
I appreciate you again for the financial stuff you're putting out. Great, easy to read, easy to understand. And I appreciate you doing all your hard work to make that possible.
I know it looks similar to last month, but I will add things as, changing the financials, I'm sure let you guys know.
So eventually, I assume we'll start putting some reserves in the internet.
Yeah.
Did we split that off totally now? Is it
Yeah.
its own?
Well, and that's one thing I've been talking to Jeff about is insurance reserves on the internet side. We don't have any. That's something that, with all the grant work we're doing right now, I think after we get that settled, we'll probably get something in place.
Any other questions for Tony? Let's move on to cash disbursements.
This is surprisingly good.
I think we'll pay this in a hurry.
Yeah,
That's what, 300,000 consolation.
and that is one of those things, the pool does pay us back for that fuel, so.
Genesis totally paid off now. Well,
Yeah, that was what Carl was talking about, how they had the additional leak down there with the oil. That was for them to come back and clean it up. Yeah.
Move we pay the bills.
Second.
Motion second to pay the bills, all in favor?
Aye.
Is there any other business we do to the board? The next board meeting will be Thursday, May 13th. Be there if you can. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, guys.